In this video, I share with you how I created this bob look for my client. This is her before picture. You can see she's got some wave to her hair. During our consultation, she asked me for a more professional look, but one with some personality. So the tool of choice that I've chosen is a feather razor. As I always start out every haircut, I always map it out. So we have 4 panels, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. I've already created my first section with a slow forward diagonal. I want to create, as you can see in the picture, at the very beginning of this video, it's not a strong A line, it's more of a square. So by using a slow diagonal parting and following that as I'm moving up the head shape, it'll keep me accurate on creating this square shape in the perimeter. So the first thing I did, as you saw, I have my feather razor. I lift the hairline up and just kind of removed some of those pesky growth patterns that happen in the hairline that can cause it to flip and move. So first section I pulled down, I used my feather razor, and the reason I chose that is because during our consultation, this client of mine is a pianist, and she wanted a more professional look, but she wanted some personality to it. So I chose the feather razor because although I want a nice bob look for her, because I feel like that's going to be more professional for her, I also wanted to have some um, fun to it. I wanted her to be able to change it up on those nights that she's, going out and just create some texture and movement and just have more of a different vibe to her haircut. And by using a feather razor when cutting the perimeter, it leaves it just more of a textured edge to it, a softer edge to it. So as you can see, I'm just holding the razor um, horizontal, parallel to the sectioning that I created, and I just kind of use it and just kind of feather it off. If you have ever, as a child, carved a piece of soap into something, it's kind of the same thought process when you're using a razor. I'm just kind of carving the shape into her hair. So as you can see, I worked up all the way through the back of the head. And as you can see here, the hair it's wet, but it's not super wet. I can let it talk to me a little bit and see what it wants to do. And as you can see, she's got curly hair. So as I work through it, I just kind of look to see my balance here, see how I'm liking it, see how it's falling. As you can see, I created a little bit of graduation in it. So there was a little bit of tension going on there. Because sometimes she might wear curly, and I wanted it to be able to have a nice shape, both smooth and curly. Now, as I move to the side of the head, sometimes depending on your client, you may take it in 2 sections, and with her hair, it's not as thick in the front, so I can just comb it down and cut it easily. So, and you can see that I changed my tool. I switched to scissors because in the front, the hair is just not quite as thick and I want a stronger line to it. So now, as you can see, we're going into the dry detailing. Because she's going to wear it both curly and smooth, I'm going to detail it smooth so it looks beautiful when she chooses to style it that way, which will probably be the majority of the time for her. And as you can see here, I've blown dry it smooth, not with volume. And I'm taking my scissors and going in just at a diagonal. It's like point cutting, but instead of going in at an angle, I'm going in more kind of straight in, a little bit angled, but more straight, and having her tilt her head down so that I can see the hair um, that needs to be taken off. Also, as you can see, I am at eye level with her. When you get eye level with what you're doing, you're able to see so much more. So one of the key points in cleaning up a bob like this is just to keep kind of combing it and moving it and looking at it and see what little hairs fall. Now, the scissor of choice that I'm using is by Shark Fin Shears, and it's called the Double Shark, and I really like it because it's got the swivel thumb first, so I can kind of move my hand in both directions without hurting my wrist. But it also has enough point on the tip of the shear that I'm able to go in and do some of this detailing that I'm doing right here. I find it a bit more difficult to do this kind of detailing when I have a scissor that doesn't have enough point on the end. Now you can see another tip for me to point out here is that I lift the hair up. You see me lifting it up periodically, and that's just so that I can get more of a visual in smaller sections to see where the little hairs are coming from. If you notice when I lift it up, I get a little bit better view of where those little hairs are coming from. Sometimes if we just look at it and we see those hairs, it can be kind of overwhelming to go, where are those hairs coming from? So that's why I choose to lift it up a little bit. So I always encourage, when you are cutting hair to always go through and dry detail it because that hair, especially wavy curly hair, it lives so differently from wet to dry. And because my client is going to be wearing it curly and she's going to be wearing it smooth, I knew it was vital for me to make sure I go in and I do this detailing. Part of becoming good at your craft at cutting hair is also training your eye, like visually knowing in your brain of what you want to see and being able to look at the head and the hair and knowing what you need to take out to create the image in your head. Another key thing too, just I move her head around. That don't be afraid to move their head. Hey, I just wanted to jump real in here really quick and first, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't yet, would you show me some love in the comments below and like or even comment? Let me know what some of the tips here um, that I'm sharing with you were helpful. And also, anything that you'd love for me to show on this channel, be sure to reach out to me. And also, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button. That subscribe button, when you click it, you will get notified whenever I post another haircut in here. This is another great tip is I'm holding the hair. I can't really get a good view of it, so I'm putting my hand behind it to create kind of a background so that I can see visually what needs to be cut. So that's another key tip there that really helps when you're cutting a bob and it's kind of hitting right there in the shoulders and you have a hard time getting in there. Just kind of comb it smooth and slip your hand underneath it and just kind of lay it down. Now it can be a little cumbersome to hold the scissors, so I usually will set it down, my scissors down, and then cut the little hairs off. Now here she wanted a little bit of blending with her fringe. She is planning on growing out her bangs here. Um, but they're not grown out, and I need to marry those and make them look good with the haircut. So I'm just kind of going in and kind of lightly blending that into the rest of the shape of the haircut. And like I said earlier, this is where your eye and your vision come into play. I'm looking at her and I'm deciding where do I want to take a little bit more out? Like what do I need to do to make this complement her face more? And here I decided I wanted to do a little bit more of a face frame and I wanted to create a blend from the fringe or the at the length of her bangs down to the perimeter of the bob. But I didn't want to slide cut because that's going to shred it and create too much wispiness around the face. The hair always tends to be finer around the face. So and you can always back up this video to look at it as well, but just really opening your shears and setting the hair at the opening of it. And as you walk the shears down, opening and closing, it'll just keep it from, shredding the hair. Here, I'm just going in now and I'm adding some layering to her style because I know that her hair is wavy and I know that she's gonna wear it curly sometimes, and there's gonna be sometimes she's gonna wanna rock it out and wear it more edgy and piecey, I needed to add some layers to it. So I'm just going in and picking it up, and just as you can see, just there here again, I'm using the double shear by Shark Fin Shears, and just going in and going directly into the hair, just point cutting. The more straight in you go with your shear, the softer that blend is going to be. As you can see here, I'm just kind of going in at a soft angle, going straight in with the shear. Now, if you're curious about the shears, be sure to visit my website on pointhairacademy.com and hit the shop page or the tools page, and you can go in there and just hit shark fin shears, and you can find out all the information on these shears. Um, Using my code OPA, OPHA, you can get 10% off and $700 worth of free shears with each purchase. And what that is two texturizing shears and a feather razor you receive with each purchase of shears, which they offer a lot on their site. But if you put in OPHA as your code, you'll receive another 10% off. Hey, if you are a newer hairstylist and you'd like to get in touch with me more and be around more, then head over to Facebook and ask to join the Hairstylist Hub where we cut and connect. It's just a Facebook group that I'm starting up because I just really have a heart for new hairstylists, and I want to just share business building tips and hair cutting tips to help you grow as a hairstylist. Here you can see how just creating those layers in there just create some fun texture in the hair. I was careful not to remove her shape because she is going to be wearing it curly quite a bit as well. So I chose to keep, to keep the layering to a minimum because she is going to be wearing it both ways. The product I was using on her is called Swept by 7, and I just sprayed it kinda throughout her hair because her hair is finer, even though it's curly, it's fine, and she wanted a little bit of volume and texture to it. And right now, I'm just talking to her. I'm telling her why I'm using the products, how to style her hair, and that's just another tip I want to share with you is that don't be afraid and don't forget your clients don't know how to use these products. So share with them how to use the products. Teach them how to blow dry their hair. It is not a compliment when a client comes in and tells you that they can never style it like you. If they tell you that, you are not doing your full potential as a stylist. Again, thank you for liking. If you enjoyed this video, please share with me in the comments below. Hit like and hit the subscribe button. And remember, your work is not about you. It is about how you make your clients feel. Happy haircutting, everybody. Thanks for watching.